Most of us go through the day pushing our brains to the limit. Work, stress, screens, and not nearly enough rest. Then we wonder why our focus fades, memory slips, or why we just feel mentally foggy. But here's something fascinating. What you do at night might be the most powerful way to keep your brain young, sharp, and full of energy. Yes, not what supplements you take, not what fancy gadget you buy, but simple, science-backed habits before bed that can literally reset your brain's health. For many men, life can feel like a constant push, responsibilities, financial pressure, long hours, and not much time left to recharge. Over time, that lifestyle chips away at mental clarity, mood, and even your ability to think clearly. But the good news is, the brain is remarkably adaptable. It can heal, strengthen, and even grow new connections if we just give it the right conditions, and nighttime is when that magic happens. So tonight, before you fall into bed exhausted, I want you to think about this. Are you preparing your brain for repair or just switching off your body? In this video, we'll explore practical things you can do at night, the kind of habits top neuroscientists and doctors recommend to help your brain stay youthful, your memory stay sharp, and your focus stay strong. These are simple changes anyone can make, but the results can be life-changing. Let's talk about how you can protect and enhance one of your most powerful assets, your mind, starting tonight. Every night when you close your eyes and drift into sleep, your brain begins one of the most powerful repair and restoration processes in the human body. What most people don't realize is that sleep isn't just about rest. It's a complex biological state where your brain essentially goes into a maintenance mode, clearing out toxins, consolidating memories, and preparing you to think, focus, and feel your best the next day. The quality of that process directly determines how sharp your brain will be in the morning, how well you'll remember details, and even how resilient you'll be against age-related decline. Scientists have discovered that during deep sleep, the brain's glymphatic system, a kind of internal cleaning network, becomes up to 10 times more active, flushing away waste proteins and metabolic debris that accumulate during waking hours. One of these waste products is beta-amyloid, a protein strongly linked to Alzheimer's disease, which means that poor sleep doesn't just make you groggy, it actually prevents your brain from clearing out substances that could harm it over time. This is why consistent, high-quality sleep is often called the brain's natural detox. When men push through late nights, survive on caffeine, or scroll endlessly through screens instead of winding down, they interrupt this essential cleansing cycle. Over weeks and months, the result isn't just tiredness. It's cognitive dullness, irritability, poor concentration, and eventually, a noticeable decline in mental performance. The brain becomes inflamed, neurons communicate less efficiently, and hormones that regulate mood and memory begin to fall out of balance. The hippocampus, which plays a key role in learning and memory, is particularly vulnerable to sleep deprivation. Studies have shown that even one night of reduced sleep can decrease activity in this area, impairing your ability to store new information or recall what you learned earlier in the day. Over years, chronic poor sleep can literally shrink certain parts of the brain, accelerating aging in ways that are both visible and measurable. Now, let's look at what actually makes sleep restorative for the brain. It's not just the number of hours, though that's important, but the depth and consistency of those hours. Deep sleep, also known as slow-wave sleep, is when most of the repair work happens. This stage is marked by slow, rhythmic brain waves that help strengthen neural connections and store long-term memories. It's during this time that growth hormone is released, promoting cellular repair, muscle recovery, and even the regeneration of brain tissue. Another critical stage is REM sleep, when your brain becomes highly active, almost as if it's awake, but your body remains still. REM sleep is responsible for emotional regulation, creativity, and problem-solving. A night without enough REM can leave you mentally scattered, anxious, or emotionally reactive. The balance between these stages determines how refreshed and sharp your brain feels upon waking. When your sleep is fragmented, whether from stress, caffeine, alcohol, or blue light exposure, your brain cycles are disrupted, and those deep restorative phases get cut short for men, especially those juggling high levels of responsibility. It's easy to fall into a pattern of sacrificing sleep for productivity, but that approach always backfires because the brain interprets sleep loss as a threat. Cortisol levels rise, inflammation increases, and the brain's ability to form and retain new memories declines. Over time, this creates a loop of fatigue and reduced focus, making even simple decisions harder to make. Researchers have found that men who sleep fewer than 6 hours a night for long periods show measurable reductions in cognitive performance, similar to aging the brain by nearly a decade. On the other hand, those who prioritize regular sleep routines tend to have stronger mental agility, better problem-solving skills, and greater emotional balance. What's more, good sleep helps regulate testosterone levels, which not only affects physical energy but also impacts mood, motivation, and cognitive sharpness. The science behind why sleep affects brain function so deeply lies in the body's circadian rhythm, the internal clock that controls your sleep-wake cycle. This rhythm is influenced by light, temperature, and daily habits. When you stay up late under artificial lighting or use devices that emit blue light, you trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime. This suppresses melatonin, the hormone responsible for signaling the body to sleep, and delays the onset of deep sleep. Over time, this disruption leads to a kind of circadian misalignment, where your biological clock and actual sleep schedule are out of sync. The result is shallow, unrefreshing rest. To counter this, maintaining a consistent sleep schedule, going to bed and waking up at roughly the same time each day, trains the brain to anticipate rest. Over time, your body begins to naturally release sleep, promoting hormones at the right times, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep without effort. Another vital, but often overlooked factor is pre-sleep behavior. The brain doesn't instantly switch from alert to restful mode. It needs cues that signal it's time to slow down. This is where habits like dimming the lights, turning off screens an hour before bed, and avoiding late-night meals or stimulants come in. These small steps help lower cortisol and allow melatonin to rise naturally. Some people find that reading a book, practicing slow breathing, or taking a warm shower helps them transition more easily into sleep. These activities activate the parasympathetic nervous system, often called the rest and digest system, which counteracts the stress-driven fight-or-flight response. When your nervous system calms down, your brain waves begin to slow, setting the stage for deep restorative sleep. Nutrition also plays a significant role in the quality of your sleep and the health of your brain. Consuming too much sugar or processed food late in the evening can spike insulin and interfere with sleep hormones. Conversely, foods rich in magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, and antioxidants support brain health and make it easier to relax. A balanced dinner that includes lean protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates can promote steady energy levels through the night. Hydration matters too. Dehydration can raise cortisol and heart rate, making it harder to sleep soundly. Some men find that herbal teas like chamomile or valerian root help them unwind naturally. The point isn't to rely on any one magic solution, but to cultivate a set of nighttime rituals that align the body and brain for rest. It's also essential to understand the link between physical activity and sleep quality. Regular exercise increases slow-wave sleep, improves circulation, and reduces stress hormones, all of which benefit brain function. However, the timing of exercise matters. Intense workouts close to bedtime can raise body temperature and adrenaline, making it harder to fall asleep. The best approach is to engage in moderate activity earlier in the day, then use the evening for light stretching or gentle walks. This balance helps your body gradually wind down, signaling to your brain that rest is coming. Over time, this pattern strengthens your natural sleep rhythm and leads to more consistent, restorative sleep cycles. Men who incorporate physical movement into their daily routine tend to fall asleep faster, sleep more deeply, and wake up with sharper focus and more stable energy throughout the day. Stress management is another pillar of maintaining brain health through quality sleep. Chronic stress keeps your brain in a hyper-alert state, flooding it with cortisol and adrenaline, which makes it nearly impossible to relax fully. The result is a restless mind that struggles to shut off at night. Techniques like mindfulness meditation, journaling, or slow breathing before bed can lower stress hormones and prepare the brain for deep rest. Even something as simple as gratitude reflection, thinking of a few positive things that happened during the day, can shift the brain's focus from anxiety to calmness. Over time, this helps rewire neural pathways, making it easier to achieve a relaxed state at night. Men who make this a nightly practice often notice better sleep quality, improved emotional balance, and clearer thinking the next day. Light exposure during the day also has a profound impact on nighttime sleep. Getting natural sunlight, especially in the morning, helps regulate your circadian rhythm by reinforcing your brain's understanding of day and night cycles. When your body knows clearly when it's daytime, it also knows when it's time to rest. On the other hand, staying indoors under artificial light all day confuses the brain, leading to delayed melatonin release and disrupted sleep patterns. So spending even 15 to 30 minutes outside each morning, without sunglasses if possible, can dramatically improve sleep quality and mental clarity. This simple routine aligns your internal clock, stabilizes mood, and sharpens focus throughout the day while promoting deeper sleep at night. Temperature control is another often forgotten factor that can affect sleep quality and brain recovery. The brain naturally lowers body temperature during sleep to support metabolic slowdown and energy conservation. Keeping your bedroom cool, ideally between 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, can help your body fall asleep faster and stay in deep sleep longer. Overheating or sleeping in an environment that's too warm can cause frequent awakenings, which interfere with the brain's cleaning and memory consolidation processes. Using breathable fabrics, maintaining airflow, and avoiding heavy meals or alcohol close to bedtime can all contribute to a cooler, more restful sleep environment. When your body temperature drops slightly as you fall asleep, it signals your brain that it's safe to enter restorative states, allowing the glymphatic system to function at its peak. Even small habits like reducing caffeine intake after midday can have a dramatic effect on brain recovery. Caffeine has a half-life of several hours, which means that a coffee or energy drink consumed late in the afternoon can still be stimulating your brain well into the night. Over time, this disrupts sleep architecture and leads to chronic fatigue. Swapping evening caffeine for herbal infusions or simply water can help restore your natural rhythms. Similarly, limiting alcohol before bed is essential. While it might make you fall asleep faster, it significantly reduces REM sleep, leaving your brain restored. The goal isn't perfection, but consistency. Developing a nightly rhythm that allows your body and brain to prepare for rest sends a powerful signal to your nervous system that it's time to switch from survival mode to repair mode. Men who understand and respect this biological rhythm often find that their productivity, mood, and creativity improve dramatically. They wake up more alert, their memory feels sharper, and their reaction times improve. Over time, this nightly brain care routine becomes a cornerstone of long-term mental health, preventing burnout, slowing cognitive decline, and even supporting emotional resilience. Quality sleep is one of the most underrated tools for preserving brain power, yet it costs nothing and depends only on mindful habits and consistent effort. By learning to protect your nights, you give your brain the chance to perform at its peak each day. Maintaining clarity, motivation, and focus well into later life. Nighttime is one of the most crucial yet overlooked opportunities to strengthen memory, boost focus, and enhance overall cognitive performance. The brain never truly switches off. Instead, it uses the hours while you sleep to process, store, and integrate information gathered throughout the day. Every thought, conversation, or experience creates neural activity that, during rest, gets refined into long-term memory and knowledge. When you adopt habits that support this nighttime process, you're essentially giving your brain the right conditions to upgrade itself every night. Think of it like defragmenting a computer, clearing unnecessary files, organizing information, and optimizing performance for the next day. The fascinating part is that your brain is incredibly responsive to small, consistent habits, and when you make those habits part of your nightly routine, you can literally train your brain to stay sharper for years. Memory and focus rely on the strength and flexibility of neural connections. Each time you learn something new, neurons communicate through synapses, building a network that allows you to retrieve and apply that information later. Sleep plays a key role in reinforcing these connections. During deep sleep and REM cycles, the brain sorts through the information you've gathered, deciding what to store and what to discard. If your nights are filled with distraction, erratic routines, or poor quality sleep, your brain doesn't have the chance to complete this process properly. That's why you might find yourself forgetting names, losing track of small tasks, or struggling to focus during the day. When the brain is overloaded and under-rested, it simply can't perform its nightly filing system effectively. By establishing habits that promote calmness, consistency, and mental decompression before bed, you set the stage for your brain to strengthen memory networks. Naturally, one of the most powerful nighttime habits for boosting cognitive function is reflection. Taking a few quiet minutes before bed to review your day, what went well, what you learned, or what you could improve, helps solidify new knowledge. This simple act signals to your brain that certain experiences are important, increasing the likelihood that they'll be stored in long-term memory. Writing a few sentences in a journal, even brief bullet points, gives structure to your thoughts and creates closure for the day, which reduces mental clutter. The less clutter your brain carries into sleep, the more efficiently it can process and consolidate information. Men who adopt this habit often notice better recall, sharper mental clarity, and even a calmer emotional state when they wake up. The act of reflection not only strengthens memory, but also helps regulate stress by giving your mind a sense of control and completion. Another valuable practice is engaging in mental relaxation exercises before sleep. Techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or visualization have been shown to reduce overactive neural firing and prepare the brain for rest. When you breathe deeply and slowly, your vagus nerve activates, sending calming signals throughout the body and lowering heart rate. This transition into a relaxed state allows the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for focus and decision-making, to recover from constant stimulation. Over time, this nightly decompression enhances your ability to concentrate during the day. It's almost as if you're giving your brain a nightly tune-up, allowing it to recharge and restore balance. These small, mindful moments signal to your nervous system that the day is over and that it's safe to switch into repair mode. The result is better mental clarity, emotional stability, and a refreshed mind ready for learning and problem solving the next morning. Many people underestimate the importance of light exposure and digital behavior in maintaining nighttime brain health. The blue light emitted by phones, tablets, and computers disrupts melatonin production, the hormone responsible for signaling sleep. This doesn't just make it harder to fall asleep, it also prevents you from reaching the deep and REM stages of sleep that are essential for brain function. The mind remains in a semi-alert state, unable to fully rest or reorganize its neural pathways. To counter this, creating a digital sunset, turning off devices at least an hour before bed, allows your body to naturally increase melatonin levels. Instead of scrolling, replace that time with reading a physical book, stretching, or having a calm conversation. These slower activities help transition the brain into a lower frequency state, similar to meditation, where it can more easily enter the deep sleep needed for cognitive renewal. Over time, men who make this shift report feeling more focused in the morning, with sharper recall and reduced mental fatigue. Hydration and nutrition also play an unexpected role in memory and concentration. Dehydration reduces oxygen flow to the brain, causing fatigue and slower thinking. Drinking a small amount of water before bed, without overdoing it, supports brain hydration overnight. As for food, heavy meals or sugary snacks can spike insulin and interfere with the body's ability to settle into rest. On the other hand, small portions of foods rich in tryptophan, magnesium, or healthy fats, like almonds, yogurt, or banana, can promote the release of calming neurotransmitters such as serotonin and melatonin. These nutrients not only help you fall asleep faster but also support brain function during the night. By fueling your brain with the right nutrients before rest, you're enhancing its ability to repair synapses, strengthen connections, and improve memory recall. Creating an environment that encourages mental calm is equally important. A cool, dark, and quiet room reduces sensory distractions and allows your mind to drift into deeper stages of sleep. Cluttered or noisy environments keep the brain subconsciously alert, preventing it from fully relaxing. Simple changes like blackout curtains, comfortable bedding, and a consistent room temperature can make a noticeable difference. Using calming scents such as lavender or sandalwood can also help trigger the brain's relaxation response. When your surroundings promote stillness, your nervous system follows suit, and your brain can focus on restoration instead of vigilance. Over time, this translates into improved memory retention and sharper daytime performance, because the brain's nightly cleaning and repair cycles are uninterrupted. Another highly effective yet simple nighttime practice is mental visualization. Before bed, visualize the goals or skills you're trying to improve. Whether it's remembering information, learning something new, or mastering a particular skill, this process of mental rehearsal activates the same neural pathways involved in real practice. During sleep, the brain strengthens these connections, effectively accelerating learning. This technique has been used by top athletes, musicians, and professionals to enhance performance. The reason it works so well is that the subconscious mind continues processing the images and ideas you focus on before sleep. So, when you visualize success or mental clarity, your brain spends the night reinforcing those patterns. Consistency is key here. Doing it every night for even a few minutes can lead to significant improvements in cognitive speed and retention. The role of gratitude and emotional regulation in brain health is also profound. When you end your day focusing on positive emotions or moments of appreciation, you shift your brain's chemistry toward calmness. Gratitude lowers stress hormones and increases dopamine and serotonin, both of which enhance mood and learning. Going to bed with a sense of contentment rather than worry allows your brain to transition smoothly into restorative sleep. This emotional balance has a direct effect on focus and productivity because the brain works best when it's not overloaded with stress signals. Men who practice gratitude before bed often report not only better sleep, but also clearer thinking and greater motivation in the morning. This simple shift in mindset acts as a natural cognitive enhancer, strengthening mental resilience and protecting against burnout. It's important to understand that the brain thrives on consistency. A regular nighttime routine, going to bed and waking up at the same time, teaches your brain when to expect rest and when to be alert. This rhythmic stability improves sleep quality, mental sharpness, and even emotional regulation. When your brain knows what's coming next, it can allocate energy more efficiently, leading to better focus and memory throughout the day. In contrast, irregular sleep schedules confuse your internal clock, leading to fatigue, irritability, and poor concentration. The most successful people, especially those with demanding mental tasks, are often those who guard their nighttime habits with discipline. They treat sleep and mental recovery as part of their training, not as an afterthought. The payoff is massive. Clearer decisions, faster learning, and sharper creativity. Physical relaxation also enhances the brain's ability to recover overnight. Gentle stretches or light yoga before bed help release built-up tension in the muscles, lower cortisol levels, and improve blood flow to the brain. This increased circulation delivers oxygen and nutrients needed for repair. Pairing this with slow, rhythmic breathing can trigger the parasympathetic nervous system, deepening relaxation and paving the way for uninterrupted rest. Over time, these physical relaxation habits strengthen the connection between body and mind, teaching your brain that the end of the day means safety and restoration. This physical and mental harmony directly improves cognitive performance, as the brain no longer wastes energy managing unnecessary stress responses. Lastly, avoid overloading your brain right before bed. Engaging in heavy work, checking emails, or watching stimulating content keeps your mind in an alert, problem-solving mode. Instead, give yourself at least 30 minutes of mental winding down before sleep. Read something uplifting or calming, listen to soothing music, or focus on your breath. When you reduce cognitive load before bedtime, your brain has more capacity to perform its nightly maintenance functions. Over time, this small change enhances focus, creativity, and overall mental clarity. These nightly habits may seem simple, but they have a cumulative effect. Each one contributes to a healthier, sharper brain that functions more efficiently and resists the cognitive decline that often comes with aging. The secret lies in consistency, giving your brain the care it needs night after night, so it can perform at its peak every day. In today's world, the brain is constantly bombarded with information, stress, and digital noise. For many men, work pressure, family responsibilities, and endless notifications create a cycle of overstimulation that leaves the brain exhausted by nightfall. What often goes unnoticed is that this constant exposure to stress and screens prevents the brain from entering the recovery state it desperately needs to stay young and sharp. Nighttime, when used properly, is the brain's best opportunity to repair, reset, and protect itself from long-term decline. But when that time is filled with overstimulation, checking messages, watching late-night videos, or worrying about the next day, the brain never gets a chance to slow down. Over time, this leads to chronic fatigue, reduced focus, irritability, and even an increased risk of neurodegenerative diseases. Creating a space for relaxation and digital detox before bed is not just about feeling calmer. It's a scientifically proven way to protect and strengthen brain function. When the brain is in a constant state of alertness, stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline remain elevated. These chemicals are useful in short bursts, but when they stay high for too long, they interfere with neurotransmitter balance, impair memory formation, and damage neurons over time. A simple act like scrolling on your phone before bed might seem harmless, but the combination of blue light and mental stimulation tricks your brain into staying awake. Blue light blocks the release of melatonin, the sleep hormone, making it harder for your body to transition into deep rest. Even more, the emotional stimulation, whether it's news, arguments online, or even exciting videos, keeps your brain's limbic system activated. This prevents the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logic, focus, and decision-making, from fully recovering overnight. The result is waking up feeling foggy and unfocused, no matter how many hours you sleep. Over time, this creates a feedback loop where the brain struggles to regulate attention and emotional control during the day. The solution begins with conscious disconnection. Setting boundaries with technology is one of the most powerful things you can do for your mental health. Try designating a digital sunset, a point in the evening when all screens are turned off, ideally 1 to 2 hours before bedtime. Replace screen time with activities that calm the mind and body, such as reading a physical book, listening to soft instrumental music, or simply having a quiet conversation. This simple practice helps the brain transition from the fast-paced beta waves of alertness to the slower alpha and theta waves associated with relaxation and creativity. These lower-frequency brain states are essential for emotional regulation and mental recovery. By entering them before sleep, you give your mind a head start on the repair process that continues throughout the night. Many people notice that when they consistently disconnect from screens early, they not only fall asleep faster, but also wake up feeling clearer, calmer, and more energized. Another key factor in brain relaxation is the environment you create before bed. The mind is deeply influenced by its surroundings. Dim lighting, a quiet atmosphere, and comfortable temperatures signal safety to the nervous system, allowing stress responses to fade. In contrast, bright lights, noise, and cluttered spaces can keep the brain subconsciously alert, even if you don't realize it. A simple nighttime ritual, dimming the lights, organizing your space, perhaps lighting a candle or diffusing calming scents like lavender, can trigger powerful psychological cues that tell the brain it's time to unwind. These rituals may seem small, but they work by training the body's internal clock or circadian rhythm to anticipate rest at the same time each night. Over time, this rhythm becomes self-sustaining, and your brain begins releasing sleep-promoting hormones automatically. It's the consistency that matters most. The brain thrives on predictable signals that reinforce the balance between activity and rest. Relaxation before bed isn't just about calming the mind, it's also about protecting the body's physiological systems that influence brain health. Chronic stress and overexposure to digital devices increase inflammation, oxidative stress, and disrupt hormonal balance, all of which accelerate cognitive aging. To counter this, incorporating relaxation techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, or progressive muscle relaxation can dramatically reduce the physiological load on the brain. Deep breathing, for example, lowers heart rate and stimulates the vagus nerve, which helps shift the body into the parasympathetic, or rest and digest, mode. This state is crucial for brain recovery because it diverts energy from survival functions to repair and regeneration. Just 5 to 10 minutes of mindful breathing can reduce cortisol levels, enhance oxygen flow to the brain, and prepare you for deeper, more restorative sleep. These small but consistent moments of calm create a buffer against the mental wear and tear caused by daily stress. Equally important is emotional relaxation, releasing the worries and mental noise that build up through the day. Carrying unresolved stress or tension into the night keeps the brain's threat detection system active, making it difficult to achieve true rest. One of the simplest ways to manage this is through reflection or journaling. Writing down what's on your mind or listing things you're grateful for can provide emotional closure, helping your brain let go of unfinished thoughts. This practice activates the rational part of the brain and quiets the limbic system, reducing emotional overactivity. Over time, men who make this a nightly habit often notice improved sleep quality, more stable moods, and greater focus during the day. Emotional calmness at night leads to stronger cognitive performance in the morning because the brain is no longer expending energy managing background stress. Physical relaxation plays a supporting role in this process. The body and mind are deeply interconnected, and when you relax one, the other follows. Gentle stretches, slow walks after dinner, or even a warm shower can signal to the brain that it's safe to rest. These activities release physical tension, reduce adrenaline, and promote the release of endorphins and serotonin, which enhance a sense of well-being. This physiological shift makes it easier to fall into deep sleep, during which the brain consolidates memories and repairs neural pathways. Consistency is key. Performing the same relaxing activity each night conditions your nervous system to expect rest afterward. Over time, this creates an automatic association between the activity and relaxation, making it easy to transition out of stress and into recovery mode. Cognitive detoxification. Intentionally giving your brain a break from stimulation is another crucial part of nighttime mental health. Throughout the day, the brain processes enormous amounts of information, much of it unnecessary or emotionally charged. Without downtime, this data accumulates and clutters mental space, leading to fatigue and reduced concentration. By creating mental stillness before bed, you allow your brain to begin sorting through this information more efficiently during sleep. Meditation, mindfulness, or even sitting in quiet reflection helps clear mental clutter and strengthen the brain's filtering systems. This not only enhances mental clarity but also improves your ability to focus on what truly matters the next day. The less noise your brain carries into the night, the more effectively it can repair and reorganize itself for optimal performance. The benefits of digital and mental detox before bed go far beyond just feeling rested. Studies show that consistent nighttime relaxation improves attention span, creativity, and emotional intelligence. It enhances the brain's plasticity, its ability to form new connections and adapt to challenges, while reducing inflammation and oxidative stress. Men who prioritize this kind of relaxation often notice a more stable mood, better decision-making, and improved motivation. The long-term benefits are even greater: a lower risk of cognitive decline, slower brain aging, and improved resilience under stress. The brain, after all, thrives in balance. It needs both stimulation and stillness to function at its best. Without stillness, it burns out. With it, it renews itself every night. An important, but often ignored aspect of relaxation is the role of purpose and self-connection. In a busy world, many men stay mentally active right up until they fall asleep, never giving themselves time to simply exist without an agenda. Taking a few minutes at night to reconnect with yourself, through reflection, prayer, or quiet gratitude, can realign your thoughts and emotions. This sense of peace is deeply restorative because it rebalances brain chemistry and reduces the internal noise that leads to restlessness. It's not about achieving perfection in relaxation, it's about creating space for mental breathing. When you allow that quiet to settle in, your brain begins to operate more efficiently, your mood stabilizes, and your overall mental energy the next day feels more grounded and clear. Even the simple act of being present, focusing on the rhythm of your breathing or the sounds around you, strengthens your ability to concentrate and regulate emotions. Presence trains the brain to stay in the moment rather than dwell on worries or future tasks. This skill, practiced nightly, gradually carries over into daytime focus and emotional control. The modern world pushes the brain to multitask endlessly, but it's in moments of stillness that the brain actually becomes sharper. The paradox is that by doing less at night, you allow your brain to do more for you later. Every minute you spend disconnecting from screens and stress is a minute invested in long-term mental performance, ultimately creating a nightly environment of calm, silence, and digital distance protects your brain from the hidden stressors that age it prematurely. The combination of mental, emotional, and physical relaxation builds resilience, enhances neuroplasticity, and allows your brain to perform its nightly housekeeping, clearing toxins, repairing neurons, and resetting your focus. The results show up not just in how you sleep, but in how you live: sharper thoughts, steadier emotions, quicker reactions, and a sense of clarity that feels like you've reclaimed mental space you didn't realize you'd lost. Protecting your nights means protecting your mind, and the investment you make in quiet, restful moments before sleep pays back every morning in the form of a sharper, stronger, and younger brain.